Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and oh, that was really weird. I went hello and did a really weird hissing sound. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to, oh dear me, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. In the last episode, we came through to the pirate base, located on the edges of Agon Wastes, in search of another way into Dark Ether. We know they have some kind of energy that they're calling a Dark Cannon, which is their way for energizing portals to Dark Ether, and we know there's a portal in their base below. This episode, we're going to be trying to find out the source of that and figure out a nice way back to Dark Ether. Anyway, well, here we've got some pirates to fight. Oh no, these are new pirates as well. These are not just regular pirates, these are space pirates. That's a long scan. Pirate Aero Troopers, Airborne Assault Trooper, fast moving and extremely well armed. Jetpacks can be overloaded with thermal damage. Well, we don't have a way of doing that for now, so let's just hit them hard. A couple of missiles should take them out. Oh wow, God Christ! Right. So, that's the thing with Aero Troopers. Oh, bloody hell. When you take them out, they're a kind of death before surrender thing, so they will very much dive bomb you, which can be a little intimidating, to say the least. Oh my goodness, there we go. With that done, the little thing that I call the puzzle theme starts playing. I don't call it the puzzle theme, it's literally called that in the game's logs. Anyway, well, there's some pirates data here. Production report. Mass breeding Metroids underway. We will meet command's quota within a cycle. Storage remains an issue. Recommend expansion of this existing facility before critical Metroid level is reached. And a second data here. Maintenance report. Energy containment field generators have failed 3 times. I fear for our safety. We're out of spare parts. One more failure and we're finished. Let's activate the puzzle. So, these blocks have raised up, and interacting with that is going to be our goal for the next, well, I was going to say a few minutes, but it's going to be about 5 minutes, because I've got a decent amount of reading to do still. Gotta love all the pirate scans. Discipline report. Units 013 and 043 have been placed on low rations after being caught configuring the power storage racks for amusement purposes. Agility training is only to occur in sanctioned training areas. That tells us partly what we're going to be doing with this puzzle here. Training report. Science team believes Metroids can be trained. After several cycles of trying, I believe science team has vapor for brains. I've lost 2 assistants to the wretched little things. Yeah, training Metroids doesn't sound like a particularly fun job for anyone. Theft report. 3 Metroids have been stolen. All on-duty units have been questioned. Whereabouts of Metroids unknown. Doubling security in Metroid areas until further notice. Security report. The Dark Hunter was spotted near the Metroid tanks. She attempted to breach the containment racks without success and then escaped. Perhaps she is behind the recent Metroid theft. Termination report. Metroid Unit 318 was put down today after a failed domestication session. Metroid Unit refused commands and terminated one of its handlers before it was subdued. Shock. Training Metroids is difficult. Injury report. Unit 686 released a Metroid for target practice today. The Metroid then assaulted 686. He should be regaining brain functions in a cycle. That's quite amusing. Anyway, you've got these racks here, and you've got various things to scan in front of you. Scanning the left thing will lower the bottommost of the racks, and scanning the one on the right will raise the bottommost of the racks. So basically you change where the gap in them is. Observe. If I scan this one, command authorized gamma power storage racks configured to desired position, and it lowers. Equally on this middle one, I want to then lower it twice, so I scan it once, and then scan again quickly, and it lowers it twice. Final one, we want to scan. We want to scan it 3 times, so once it has to do the thing, and then again, and then a 3rd time. Didn't work the 3rd time. There we go. Now we have them configured, not the way you need them to be, but the way I want them to be. Jump onto this one, jump onto this one, and jump onto the final one, and we have an energy tank up here. It's not what we needed, but it's, well, I was going to throw a Batman quote in there about something about not the one we need, but the one we deserve, or some shit like that. But utterly unnecessary. But energy tanks, always great. Now we need to take the right-hand one and raise it up by 2, so we use the opposite button to raise them up. Middle one needs to stay where it is, and then the right-hand one needs to be raised by 2. So this time we've gone from, oh no, it needs to be lowered by 3 even. Because we basically need to go, oh, that little display there also shows how they're configured. Because we went from the right down to the left, now we can go from the left up to the right. No, right up to the left. I got those the wrong way around in my head. Not in my head, in my speech. In my head, they're completely the right way around. And I know exactly what I mean. And obviously communication is all about me knowing what I mean. But this way we not only proceed, but we also got an energy tank. And energy tanks, as I've said, are crucial at this stage in the game because Dark Aether is a scary, spooky place. And the more we can do to make it more palatable, the better. Anyway, heading through here, we have... So there's energy barriers in the way here, which means we can't go left there. They will hurt you if you try to go through them. So we have to do a little bit of nonsense around the top. Come on, and flick. Flick. Nope. Flick. There we go. You got a little brimstone thing here that you can break through. Not brimstone. Brimstone is missiles. Telluric alloy. Wait for those lasers to stop and go around them. You'll notice there's basically throughout here there's lasers that appear and then spontaneously disappear. Like so, these ones will disappear. Head across. Ooh. And they'll appear again. Wait for them to disappear. This whole area is symmetrical, so now we need to work our way down to the left. And then back to the right. Fuck! Ooh, that was just in time. And then smash the telluric alloy again, and down and out to the left. Smash this thing in with a missile, and we get to, fortunately, a save station. The save station also has something important in it. It has a pirate lore log thing, which is the Dark Hunter. The Dark Hunter teleports into our base at will. Our security has proven next to useless against her. Her latest raid was disastrous. Not only did we lose more phase onto her, but she also crippled the stealth field generator with her strange new weapons. We are exposed. Until the replacement generator arrives, we will be vulnerable to scans and detection. Our presence here is still minimal. Should the Federation find us, we will be unable to defend our position. Fortunately, Ether is on the fringe of Federation space. With luck, we will have the stealth field back in effect before being detected. And also, the fact that anyone who tries to land on Ether apparently gets hit by a giant purple thunderstorm, as we did and as the Marines did and such. It seems to be because of the whole dimensional instability thing. Not a brilliant place to land a spaceship right now. So, here we now head into sand processing. And if I bring up the scan... Oh, bloody hell. Don't bring up the scan visor yet, because there's two Growler class turrets, or Vigilance class turrets, or something, some kind of turret. Bring up the scan visor, and you'll see... Well, there's a thing up here, which is grating designed to resist extremely high-speed winds. Weapon fire is useless against it. Seek an alternative method to access the control area. No, thank you. Instead, we will just crack through this thing, which is made of brimstone. Wonderful. And make sure you definitely saved at that last place. Just, trust me on that one. Well, that's not where I wanted to go. Though, that is worth remembering for later. If we head down. So, time for finally a showdown with the Dark Hunter. Begin by scanning her. Like every boss, Dark Samus is a one-off scan at this point. Well, it's called Dark Samus 1, so that tells you something about the progression of the game from here. But this is Dark Samus, a phase-empowered entity. Powerful distance attacks. Phase-on energy shield repels all weapons. Wait until it's down to attack. Avoid close contact with target. Great. Try and keep a track on her. Keep a beam charge. Ow. And once you get a chance like there, and when you can actually bloody lock onto her, loose it into her and then start charging up another one. Keep an eye on your motion tracker if you want to know where she is. In terms of what exactly Dark Samus is, that requires one to have played/watched Metroid Prime. And also, more importantly, completed Metroid Prime 100%. If you do that, you get the special ending of Metroid Prime. Which, if one recalls back, or for those of you who haven't watched, I can actually slap a bit of footage of it up in the corner here. The special ending to Metroid Prime showed after you'd defeated the final boss and escaped. It showed from a puddle of Phazon. Oh, here we go. From a puddle of Phazon, a hand coming out wearing Samus's Phazon suit. Because when you defeated Metroid Prime, your Phazon suit was left behind and you had to escape in just the gravity suit. The Phazon suit, it seems, survived, because the Phazon suit was unusual in that it had the ability to... Oh, to utilise the power of Phazon. Remember, if we stood in a puddle of Phazon... Right, well, that blue shield surrounding her is up. She's immune to damage. So we need to get the fuck out of her way until that shield goes down. Which is now. There we go. Oh, my God, she's moving again. Bloody hell. She's bloody keeping the shield up, isn't she? So, yeah, that is definitely a shield. Was just testing. Well, hopefully she'll tire herself out soon. Oh, ow. God, she is moving a lot. So, yes, the Phazon shield allowed... Phazon suit allowed the wearer to channel the power of Phazon. And basically it was at the end of... Oh, she's invincible there too. Bloody hell, she doesn't seem like we get much of a chance to hit her. Oh, we can hit her this time. Shit, well... I was thinking of immediately after that attack is when she's invulnerable. Yes. So, the entity known as Metroid Prime, the final boss of Metroid Prime, ended up symbiotically bonding. We destroyed its body, but its life force bonded to the Phazon suit at the end, and was able to live again as long as it has a continuous supply of Phazon. And that beam... Beam? I said beam because I've heard a beam weapon. That being is what Dark Samus is now. So, this is why this game is, in a lot of ways, justified in calling itself... Wow. What I was going to say is that's part of the reason why this game is justified in calling itself Metroid Prime 2, because not only is it the sequel to Metroid Prime, but also it is still about Metroid Prime, as in Dark Samus is Metroid Prime, but just rather than being in the body of a Metroid, her essence now inhabits one of your suits, which is obviously problematic. Here is some Phazon, volatile ore with biomutagenic properties. Origin point of Phazon unknown. First detection of element on planet Talon 4, used by space pirates to produce vast levels of energy. And also clearly used by Metroid Prime to produce mass levels of energy. This, in case anyone who has recently watched my... Oh, by the way, through here, here's a cool thing, so I'm going to stop talking. So we have acquired the Dark Beam, the first of the beam weapons in the game. So much like in Metroid Prime where we use... Oh, we've unlocked a package as well. While we use minus to switch between visors, much like in Metroid Prime, we use plus to switch between beams. So in the center is the power beam and down to the left is the Dark Beam. One of the big differences between this and Metroid Prime, though, is that, note, in the middle right of the screen it says 50. When I fire the Dark Beam, 49. Any beams other than the power beam use ammunition. And that is kind of important. You get ammunition in the same way you get missiles and stuff like that from just destroying containers. There are specific tricks to get dark ammo, which I will discuss in a few episodes' time. Next episode, actually. But for now, pirate lore here. The local war has escalated in intensity. The Shadowlings from Dark Ether have launched an offensive. Their assault seems focused on a central network of buildings atop a mountain. A base, perhaps? Strangely, this attack coincides with a rise in planetary instability. Perhaps these shadowy creatures are using a new weapon system. The Shadowlings must believe us to be foes, for they have hit our base numerous times as well. We are holding, but attrition is taking its toll on our troops and resources. Reinforcements are en route. We can only wait and defend what is ours. Now, anyone who has either in the past or recently... Well, there's dark ammo coming out of those things. Anyone who's recently watched my Metroid Prime 1 series will... How the fuck do I get out of here? I'm just trying to remind myself. Apologies. It's through there. Yes. Okay, yeah. Oh, well, I should have gone back up there. Because we can open black doors now with the Dark Beam, which means we can take a shortcut straight back. I mentioned at the time, I refer to Metroid Prime in that game. Despite the fact that Metroid Prime is clearly just a kind of beastly monster, I refer to Metroid Prime as she, rather than he or it. Now with this game, you see why. Because Metroid Prime for this game becomes Dark Samus. And it would be weird if Dark Samus was male. Because Samus is female, Dark Samus makes sense to very much also be female. Therefore, Metroid Prime in my head was always a female, and that's why I refer to Metroid Prime as a female. New creature here, Pirate Grenadier. Space pirate specializing in grenade combat. Powerful grenade launcher makes this enemy dangerous at range. Minimum close combat capability. But like any pirate, not any pirate, but any normal pirate, it can be taken out with a single charge beam shot. There's a second one somewhere down here. Ah, there we go. Wonderful. Now, what we need to do, technically speaking here, is energize this portal with the Dark Beam and head into Dark Ether. But there's other stuff to do first. If I bring up the map, we need to head back over to Biostorage area. I think it's called Biostorage 1 or something. Biostorage Station, that's what this area is called. So, the Metroids are broken containment, which is great. Nice easy way to take out Metroids, hit them with a charge shot from the Dark Beam. Charge shot from the Dark Beam freezes things. Hit things that are frozen with a Dark Beam missile, and it will shatter them. In so many ways, the Dark Beam is basically based off the Ice Beam in Metroid Prime 1, in that the charge shot freezes things, and such. Charge shots require 5 ammo from the beam, so we're down to 34 on this. Through this dark door here, as you see, we can now get a missile expansion, which is what the point of this was for. So, I'm not going to bother bringing up the map again because you know where I am, so let's head back to the command center and, well, let's just do that. What I was going to say was, and let's head through the portal, but we still need to energize the portal. Give it just a normal shot from the Dark Beam. And there we have it, it's now an active Dark Portal. Let's head through to Dark Ether. So, now we're in a completely different area of Dark Ether, the Doomed Entry. As you can see, the area we've been to is over there. So this is the kind of the equivalent of the pirate base. If I swapped over to the Light Realm, you'll see, there you go. The geometry doesn't exactly match it one-to-one, but where the area physically is, does. Presumably that's because the pirates have changed the area. Let's scan around a little bit. We've got a dead space pirate, subject to multiple armor breaches, exposing its body to the local atmosphere. Resulting trauma led to multiple organ failure and death. Are these space pirates? Yeah, they are. Or are they Luminoth? No, they look like pirates. Subject's spine was shattered after a high-velocity impact. The attack crippled the subject, leaving it vulnerable to further attacks and ultimately termination. We also have up in the air a new creature, a Dark Preed. Darkling-possessed, gas-filled cyborg. Darkling enhances target's durability. Destruction of outer body will result in a highly toxic cloud release. We haven't actually seen a normal Preed yet, but you know, there's a dark version. So, there are a couple of weird things you can do with the Dark Beam. I don't know why you'd want to do these things, but both light beacons and light crystals can be darkened with the Dark Beam. As in, if I hit that one up there, that darkens it. The only real reason I can think of to do that is because it gives you a scan of a nullified crystal. Protective field of light energy deactivated. Light crystals, when covered with dark energy, cease to function for a brief time. Light energy can clear this crystal of dark energy. Unfortunately, we don't have light energy. Equally, there's a beacon over there. If we hit the beacon... Go on, if we hit the beacon... There we go. We can then briefly also scan a nullified beacon, which is exactly the same logic, but for a beacon rather than a crystal. Wonderful. I now actually need that beacon, and I can't re-energize it, so I guess we'll have to wait. There we go, it's back to life now. So, if we head over to this beacon, there's a second beacon over there. Oh, you can also see, by the way, which should have been obvious already, there's a dark key up there, a dark temple key. Can't get to it right away, but soon we will be able to. There's a door behind us that we can't quite open yet, but if we bring up the scan visor, this thing here comes up in red. This statue conceals a Luminoth device. Outer shelf, the statue is composed of brimstone. We all know what that means. Helps if you don't miss, idiot. So, I'll turn this beacon back on, scan the device, and this is a light lift crystal, energized by dark-based weapons. Luminoth lift crystal will lower when the crystal is energized by dark weaponry, so fire up a dark beam and hit the crystal with it. Again, helps if you don't miss. Oh no, oh no, no, I don't want to be here. So we can come up here now and we're safe within this beacon. There's another pirate body down there. Subject appears to have been terminated by its own forces. Evidence of parasitic infestation present. Subject may have turned against his allies against his own will. Turned on his allies against his own will. God's sake. Either way. I'll bring up just a normal beam again. You don't want to accidentally use the power beam to try and turn on a light field, because that's really embarrassing when that happens. We're like, oh, now I fucked myself, because you have no way of turning them back on, so you just need to wait. We'll destroy the Preed and avoid the gas cloud. Ow, ow. And we can hop over here and grab the Dark Key. That's our second Dark Key. I don't think I even mentioned when I brought up the first ones that I have a separate visualizer for Dark Keys on the right there. Well, separate part of the visualizer. Ow. What I want to do for now is go through... Is it this door? Let me have a look at the map. Yeah, it's this door here. There's two dark doors we can go through here, but we don't want to go through the other one. Crack this one open. And now we're in the Oasis access, so we'll go through this. Oh, there's some ing things. Oh, a bloody entire hunter ring. Not hunter ring, warrior ring. Did I scan this thing? Yes. The first time I scanned one of them was in the period after which I died, and I just need to make sure I actually did properly scan it, because remember, it was just before we fought the jump guardian, and I had to do that whole section again at the beginning of last episode because I died, because I'm an idiot. He appears to be stuck in a wall, and I'm okay with this. Well, he's dead. Cool. Let's blow up this phase on, and scan that dude there. Subject was undergoing parasitic fusion when its heart failed. Massive biosystem shock led to the termination of subject and parasite. A rough time was had for all. Right, I'm going to heal up here. Well, that'll do. I can't be bothered to wait for it entirely. We've got 3 energy tanks for a reason. If we head through here, we are now into the Dark Oasis. This, I believe, is what's the save station. Oh no, this is the main reactor. So this is where we fought Dark Samus in the light world. We need to go through here. Wow. So here's a light portal, but it requires energization. So we can't get through it yet, but we can scan a dead pirate on the ground. Subject's chest armor was compromised by multiple high-energy strikes and then penetrated by a piercing weapon, terminating subject's life signs. The multiple high-energy strikes is going to be a warrior ring when they do that light beam thing. Anyway, through here, we're now into the Hall of Stairs. We got a pillar here. If we head round to the other side here, destroy these blade pods. Partly because they're in my way, partly because they could contain life stuff, which is useful. And we have another lift crystal, so if we darken it, it drops down. Once it's darkened, we couldn't do this with the last one. But, no, not the bloody pillar itself. If we scan the lift crystal, dark lift crystal is a new scan, which will raise when the crystal is energized by light-based weaponry, which we don't have yet. 40% of all scans! Wonderful! Yes, once you've darkened them, they lower down and can go back up at some point. It's just the last one couldn't go back up, so I didn't have the opportunity to scan it at all. Crack through this. Safe stations always seem to be preceded by a missile door. And we have a subject whose chest armor was... Yeah, I feel like I've already had that one. Quite why it didn't tell me you've already scanned this is a little beyond me there. Anyway, with that done, we can save. And we'll hold the episode there. So we've got the Dark Beam, we've had a fight with Dark Samus, and now we're back on Dark Ether. I wasn't kidding when I said this game really abuses the Dark prefix. There's a reason why. So in this country it's called, well, in English even, it's called Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. In Japanese it was called Dark Echoes. I guess they decided that would be too much dark even for this game for Western countries. Either way, next episode we'll be looking for that final Dark Temple key here in Dark Agon Wastes. God, it is ridiculous when you think about it. Thank you very much, and good day.